The Making of a Scientist. Unit 6, Grade 10, English Cbse, Footprints Without Feet textbook. This lesson talks about Richard H. Ebright's scientific theory, where he has proved how cells work. At the age of 22, he and his friend, college roommate, explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science, which changed the scientist's mind looking at different theories. At the age of 15, he was known for his writing. For Richard, it was the first in the long string of the achievements. He started his butterfly studies. As a young child, Richard used to collect different things like rocks, fossils, and coins to pass his free time, as he had only his mother with him. Later on, his journey towards butterfly was pushed up by his mother. She encouraged his interest and she started equipping him with different books. She brought telescope, microscope, cameras, and started taking him to trips and climbing up mountains. So many things she had done to support his interest. In the second grade, his mother has observed that he had collected 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown. And later on, she brought children's book called The Travels of Monarchs 10 to him, which had a very good note for him. At the last page, it was written, those who would like to read about and study about butterflies have to tag Butterflies for Research by Dr. Frederick A. Archat from the University of Toronto, Canada. In the next summer, he has tagged many butterflies and asked whoever got this tag and the butterfly have to send that to Dr. Frederick. But he could get only two of them which he has tagged. As the summer was closing, he started rearing butterflies in his basement. In the seventh grade, he had participated in county science fair where he had shown the frog tissues under a microscope, which did not give him any success. He wrote letters to Frederick to get ideas from him for his county science fair. Next year, he had presented a project where he shown an experiment that causes of a viral disease that kills nearly all monarch caterpillars, for which he tried to raise caterpillars in the presence of beetles, which gave him his first success and he won. The next year experiment was the Viceroy's butterflies copying monarchs. Project on monarch got first place in zoology division and third place in overall county science fair in the next year. In the second year of his high school, he started experimenting on hormone, which indirectly helped his theory on the life of cells. Later, he started experimenting on the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa. Ebright wanted to know whether these spots are ornamental or they have some other importance on butterfly's body. To find answer for this, Ebright and another science child together they built a device and showed that the spots were producing a hormone necessary for the butterfly's full development. This is the project which led him to county fair first place as well as entry into the international science and engineering fair. This has also gave him the third place for zoology, and he got a chance to work during the summer at the etymology laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. His advanced experiment on the monarch pupa won first place in the International Science Fair when he was in high school junior. He got another chance to work in the army laboratory during the summer once again. In his senior year, he had further investigated and showed that the cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wings scales only if they were fed the hormone from the gold spots. This again gave him the first place for zoology at the international fair, and this time, along with the army laboratory, he was able to work in the laboratory of US Department of Agriculture. The following summer, as a freshman year at Harvard University, Ebright went back to laboratory of Department of Agriculture and did more work on hormone from the gold spots of monarch. During his junior year, he got the idea for his new theory about cell life. While he was looking at X-rays photos of the chemical structure of a hormone, he got answer to one of biology's puzzles: how the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. Then he could understand the DNA is the blueprint for life. He and his roommate James R. Wang worked all through the night drawing pictures, preparing plastic models of molecules to show how it could happen. And later, both of them had written research paper explaining this theory. He was graduated from Harvard as the second in his class and went on for his higher studies as a student researcher at Harvard Medical School. His high school research of the spots on a monarch pupa eventually led him to his theory about cell life. As a student, Richard used to get always A, and he had a very good social studies teacher named Richard A. Ware, whom he admired a lot, and he says he was the perfect person for him at that age. And even his teacher compliments him, he would always give the extra effort for his studies. His teacher says he used to spend 3 to 4 hours in his research and debate, and he also says that he was very competitive. But he wasn't interested in winning for winning's sake or winning to get a prize. He was winning because he wanted to do the best job he could. For the right reasons, he wanted to be the best. And that is what makes the main ingredient of Richard's life and making of a scientist.